Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, when did I lose control of my life? Maybe you remember a time when you felt sharp, focused, and unstoppable. But now, your days blur together. You wake up tired, scroll through your phone, chase distractions, and end the day feeling like you accomplished nothing. You promise yourself you'll do better tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. If you're honest, you know this feeling. You see it in your friends, your colleagues, maybe even your father or your brother. Modern men are losing control, not just of their time, but of their minds, their bodies, and their destinies. Anxiety, addiction, procrastination, and self-doubt are at an all-time high. The world is moving faster than ever, and most men are falling behind. But why? Why are so many men in the age of endless opportunity feeling more lost, more distracted, and more powerless than ever before? Why do we start strong but finish weak? Why do we set goals but never follow through? Why do we let our emotions, our impulses, and our environment dictate our actions? What if I told you that the problem isn't just technology, or society, or even your habits? What if the real issue is a lost art, forgotten discipline, that once made men unbreakable, but has been buried under the noise of modern life? Today, I'm going to reveal the ancient Japanese secret of Zanshin, the art of sustained awareness. This isn't just a productivity hack. It's a way of living that can help you reclaim control, rebuild your focus, and become the man you were meant to be. But before we begin, I want you to do something. In the comments, write the one area of your life where you feel most out of control. Is it your health, your work, your relationships, your mind? Make it public. Make it real. Because the first step to reclaiming control is admitting where you've lost it. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. This is a community for men who are done with excuses and ready to take back their power. Let's begin. We live in the noisiest era in human history. Never before have men faced so many distractions, so much information, and so many demands on their attention. The average man checks his phone over 100 times a day, switches tasks every few minutes, and is bombarded by thousands of ads, messages, and notifications. But all this noise comes at a cost. Our minds are scattered. Our thoughts are shallow. We start projects and never finish. We read but don't remember. We listen but don't hear. We feel busy but not productive. Connected but not fulfilled. Psychologists call it attention residue. Every time you switch tasks, a part of your mind stays stuck on the last thing you were doing. The more you switch, the less you can focus. The more clutter in your environment, your schedule, and your mind, the harder it is to go deep. But here's the paradox. The solution isn't to try harder, but to live differently. Not to add more, but to remove what doesn't matter. Not to chase after control, but to create the conditions where control happens naturally. Most men believe that the answer to their problems is more willpower. They try to force themselves to focus, to resist temptation, to push through fatigue. But willpower is a limited resource. The more you use it, the faster it runs out. The truth is, you can't outmuscle the modern world. You can't win a war against your own biology, your own environment, and your own habits, at least not for long. The harder you try to control everything, the more you feel out of control. This is why so many men burn out. They start strong, but crash hard. They set goals, but never follow through. They blame themselves for being weak, lazy, or undisciplined. But the real problem isn't weakness, it's a lack of awareness. The ancient samurai understood this. They knew that true control doesn't come from force, but from focus. Not from willpower, but from awareness. Not from fighting the world, but from mastering yourself. Zanshin means remaining mind. It's the state of relaxed alertness, sustained attention, and total presence that the samurai cultivated, not just in battle, but in every moment of life. There's a story of a young samurai who asked his master, "How do I win every fight?" The master replied, "By never letting your mind leave the moment." Zanshin is the art of being fully present, fully aware, and fully engaged before, during, and after every action. In archery, Zanshin is the awareness you maintain after releasing the arrow. In swordsmanship, it's the readiness you keep after the strike. In life, it's the discipline of staying connected to your purpose, your values and your actions, no matter what distractions come your way. Zanshin is not about being tense or paranoid. It's about being calm, clear, and unshakable. It's the foundation of true control. The first step to reclaiming control is awareness. Most men sleepwalk through life, reacting to whatever grabs their attention. They let their environment, their emotions, and their impulses dictate their actions. But the samurai trained themselves to be aware of everything, every sound, every movement, every thought. They practiced mindfulness, not as a trend, but as a survival skill. Awareness is the foundation of Zanshin. It's the ability to notice when you're distracted, when you're drifting, when you're losing control. It's the discipline to bring your mind back to the present again and again. Try it now. Notice your breath. Notice your body. Notice the thoughts running through your mind. Don't judge them. Just observe. This is the beginning of Zanshin. The samurai built their lives around rituals daily, practices that forged their body, mind, and spirit. They woke before dawn, trained for hours, meditated, wrote, and reflected. They understood that greatness is not an accident. It is the result of thousands of small, disciplined actions. If you want to reclaim control, build your own rituals. Wake up at the same time every day. Move your body. Feed your mind. Set goals and review them. Reflect on your failures and learn from them. Rituals are the armor that protect you from distraction. They create momentum, structure, and accountability. They turn discipline into habit and habit into identity. The samurai were masters of elimination. They understood that focus is not about doing more, but about doing less. Every distraction, every unnecessary commitment, every extra possession is a weight that slows you down. They practiced danshari, the art of refusing, disposing, and separating. They let go of what they didn't need, possessions, habits, even thoughts. If you want to reclaim control, start by eliminating the unnecessary. Clean your space. Simplify your schedule. Say no to what doesn't matter. Every time you let go, you make space for focus. One of the most powerful Japanese concepts is shoshin, the beginner's mind. It means approaching life with openness, curiosity, and a willingness to see things as they are, not as you think they should be. When you embrace shoshin, you stop clinging to the past, to old habits, to the need for perfection. You become willing to start fresh, to make mistakes, to learn as you go. Zanshin and shoshin work together. The beginner's mind keeps you humble and open. The remaining mind keeps you focused and steady. Together they make you unstoppable. The greatest enemy is not outside, but inside. It is the voice that says, you can't, you're not good enough, you'll never change. This is the voice of your old self, the weak, distracted, comfortable self that fears growth. The samurai called this kyojitsu, the false and the true. Every day you must separate the lies from the truth. The lie says, you are your distractions. The truth says, you are the one who sees distractions. Every time you choose awareness over autopilot, you weaken your enemy. Every time you act in spite of discomfort, you build your strength. The battle is never over. Every day you must choose comfort or growth, weakness or strength, distraction or focus. Modern science is finally catching up to what the samurai knew centuries ago. Studies show that focus is not a talent, but a skill, a muscle you can train. The more you practice sustained attention, the stronger it gets. The more you give in to distraction, the weaker you become. Neuroscientists call it neuroplasticity. Your brain rewires itself based on what you do repeatedly. If you want to reclaim control, you must train your brain to focus every day. Start small. Set a timer for 25 minutes. Work on one thing. When you get distracted, gently bring your mind back. Over time, your focus will grow. The samurai did not walk their path alone. They sought out other warriors, trained with them, learned from them, and tested themselves against them. They understood that iron sharpens iron. If you want to reclaim control, surround yourself with men who are disciplined, focused, and driven. Share your goals. Compete, not to beat others, but to become the best version of yourself. Weak men fear accountability. Warriors seek it. They know that the only way to grow is to be tested, to be humbled, to be forced to rise. There comes a moment in every man's life when he must choose, remain comfortable and weak, or die to his old self and be reborn as something greater. The samurai wrote, "You may abandon your own body, but you must preserve your honor." This is the ultimate test. Are you willing to sacrifice comfort, pleasure, and even your old identity for the sake of focus, strength, and greatness? The death of the old self is not easy. It is painful, lonely, and terrifying. But it is the only path to true power. If you want to reclaim control, you must be willing to let go of who you were to become who you could be. The world in 2026 is faster, louder, and more uncertain than ever. Distraction is everywhere, but so is opportunity. Write your own code for the new era. Decide what you stand for. What are your non-negotiables? What will you sacrifice for your goals? What lines will you never cross? A man without a code is a slave to his impulses. A man with a code is a master of his destiny. Now it's your turn. In the comments, write the one action you will take this week to reclaim control. Will you set a new ritual? Will you eliminate a distraction? Will you commit to a daily practice of Zanshin? Make it public. Make it real. Let this be the first step on your path from lost to unbreakable. And if you found value in this video, subscribe to the channel. Share it with a brother who needs this message. And join our community of men who are done with excuses and ready for greatness. Remember, control is not something you find. It is something you build. One moment, one action, one day at a time. Zanshin is not just a philosophy. It is a way of life, a path to focus, power, and peace. Your journey to reclaiming control begins now. See you in the next video.